today. So, I don't know if you know this, but this month marks the 5-year anniversary of the release of Breaking Dawn, the last book in the Twilight series. Did you know that? Probably didn't think about it. I thought about it. Once upon a time, I had an obsession, and that obsession was Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, Edward and Bella, and usually not Jacob. I just wanted to recount this thing that happened because thank goodness I did not have a YouTube channel back then, because let me tell you, I would have been all up in the place talking about the Twilight. First time I ever heard of Twilight, we had a new library system at school, and the librarian was showing us how to find a book, and she used Twilight as an example. She kind of explained the premise, and I had like no one had ever heard of it. This was like 2007. That little nugget of knowledge was stored somewhere in the back of my mind, and when I was going on a trip to the beach a few months later, went to the bookstore to find a book to read. Keep in mind, did not read a lot of books at this point in my life. Ever since that 7th Harry Potter book came out, I had not been able to do anything. But I saw Twilight, and I was like, you know, it sounds kind of interesting. I'll just read it. And I read it non-stop for like 4 days. What's weird though is that nobody else I knew read these books. And I was like, all the obsession had to be kept inside. Right when we got back home from vacation, I set out to find New Moon because I found out there was a second one. I could not find it. I went to like 3 different bookstores, and I finally came upon this glorious, glorious little cover. This weird book. This freaking disappointment. There are flowers in here. How special. So I read New Moon, and then I read Eclipse, and then I was like, okay, is that it? Is it over? No, it's not over. There's Breaking Dawn. It's coming out in August. Great! Oh gosh, so in the meantime, between finishing Eclipse and Breaking Dawn coming out, I made my friends read it, and they became obsessed too. Oh gosh, I bought a Twilight shirt. That was a $20 investment that I just sleep in now. And then the Breaking Dawn release came. Me and my friend Katie, we dressed up, we had these shirts, and we wrote the word Edward all over the front, and then on the back said, "I'm sorry, what?" What does that even mean? Fun fact, the first video that I ever put up on YouTube is of me at the Breaking Dawn release. I'm following, me and Katie are stalking the fake Edward Cullen that they had in Barnes & Noble.
A documentary about Edward Cullen. Yeah. I can't find it. We have to be very careful. There he is. I found him. Let's try to get closer. We're gonna get closer, guys. We're gonna get closer.
So that was the beginning of my YouTube career. A really grainy, pixelated video of me chasing down some stranger in Barnes & Noble. I should win a prize. I get Breaking Dawn, I read it. It's so magical. It's so wonderful. Then the movie was coming out, and oh man, dang was that fun. One of my friends brought a date. I don't think she ever saw him again because she spent the entire movie crying. Just sat there and cried. I was very excited, very excitable. I was very I was just obsessed. And there's just really no other word for it. I would tell people about it. I thought it was this wonderful work of literature. I was just like, oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't have a YouTube channel back then. Oh my god. After I reread them, like the second time, like I'd read them 3 times, I was like, you know what, this is kind of problematic a little bit. Like, Edward's kind of a terrible person. I was just like, Bella kind of pisses me off a little bit. As of today, I've still not seen the entirety of Breaking Dawn Part 2. I want to know about your Twilight experience, because I really like hearing from people who also had a Twilight obsession. It's just a good old time. I only have 3 of the books because a friend of mine took it and he never gave it back. I think he was embarrassed or something. I don't know. Borrowed it from me, give it back. I hope that you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. Oh gosh, I will see you next time. Bye! Oh Lord.